Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Good look at some of the stocks on the move today here in Europe. I'm Caroline Hepker with Lizzie Burden, and we're joined by Bloomberg reporter Chloe Millay. Good morning.
Good morning.
BP continuing to show that green isn't the new black. Tell us about the Writedowns.
Yeah, absolutely. So BP expects an impairment charge of as much as $5 billion for the fourth quarter, and those charges are mostly related to its gas and low carbon energy business. And it's not really like it's the only segment that's not doing great. BP also said this morning that oil trading results will be weaker, and that is the second consecutive quarter for which they will be weaker, and also said that production will be flat. So across the board, not really a great update from BP, and we saw the shares moving a little lower as a result of that this morning. It comes at quite an interesting time for the company, given that it's just replaced its CEO, and it's still in the middle of this really big turnaround where it wants to move away from low carbon and renewables and back into oil and gas. And it is currently divesting some assets with that strategy in mind. But then the timing of that itself is not necessarily ideal, because it's refocusing on oil and gas at a time when oil prices are lower. And obviously that might mean that it will have to squeeze buybacks. So the next update is going to come in the form of an earnings report next month. But this update that we have today doesn't bode super well for that. And so investors will be watching for what that means for their buybacks, really.
Also, Goldman thinks freight's going to get a fright. Tell us more.
Yeah, there's a new note today on the shipping and logistics sector from Goldman, and Maersk in particular is one of the least favoured, and it was downgraded to a sell rating, which sent the shares lower today. So the analyst said that there's going to be a deterioration in global trade with, of course, rising trade barriers, which will really weigh on that industry in 2026, just like it did in 2025. And then also the Red Sea route, it looks like it has the potential for reopening, and Maersk just confirmed yesterday that it had made a second successful passage through the Red Sea after a couple of years of ships avoiding that area, of course. And the reopening of that route means that freight rates might actually go down, and that means lower earnings for those big shipping companies. And so according to analysts, Maersk faces declining earnings, declining free cash flow, and so that doesn't bode super well. For the rest of the sector, there are names that are a little bit better position, and DSV in particular is a top pick according to Goldman.
Interesting. Okay. Can you be cautiously optimistic after your annual sales fall by 9%? This is a question related to Vistry.
Yeah, so the Vistry, the UK home builder, and the outlook today that they shared was cautiously optimistic. But then when we look at the numbers, as you said, it sold 9% fewer homes in 2025 because of that budget uncertainty that was really weighing on the sector towards the second half of 2025. And Vistry is also specialized in the more kind of affordable end of the market, so that's not a very reassuring either in that way. And so we are seeing that reflected in the shares today. The last time I checked, we were down almost 8%, so really taking a beating this morning on the back of that. And it means that probably it will be quite tough in 2026, but Vistry is cautiously optimistic and is saying that this is because interest rates will be probably going lower this year, and so that will help the market. But then we still have the issue of regulatory hurdles, UK tax changes, all of that. That uncertainty will continue probably to weigh on the sector, and we'll be seeing what other home builders are saying when they report over the next few weeks.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.